Hello, everyone. We're going to be discussing the big news in Google and SEO today. Everyone is talking about it on all of the digital marketing websites, podcasts, forums, Facebook groups, etc. There's a anonymous source shared thousands of leaked Google search API documents, and it shows tons of different ranking factors. It's confirmed a lot of things that people already knew and disputed some things that we thought were right and wrong. I'm just going to try to dumb it down as much as possible into the layman's terms, because this podcast is not necessarily for SEOs or search engineers. It's going to be for, local business owners who want to get more leads. So if you're a local business owner, you don't really need to spend all day reading this document. You can just listen to this podcast, understand exactly what you need to change from your current SEO strategy, and then apply that. So I apologize, this might not be the most polished podcast ever because there is so much data to go through. I'll have to be reading some of it. I did want to point out a couple of other people to reference, and I will link them below where you can read more in-depth analysis of these algorithm leaks. The first one is from PullRank, iPullRank.com/Google Algo Leak. That's from Mike King. He's a great source. My favorite one actually is from Andrew Ansley. He's the owner of Content Sprout AI, and he has a really, really good document that goes over all of his recommendations based off of this leak as well. But my own opinion, I read most of it. I haven't actually finished it. It is very long. And as I continue learning and dive into this, I'll add more links on the bottom of other actionable things that you should follow based off of this analysis. But the main one that I wanted to talk about is, actually there's no main one, but there's a lot of things that talk about content. A lot of people have argued about the helpful content update in the past and really what that means. And this really gave a lot more insight on what helpful content is. Google talks about what's spammy, what's not spammy, how they categorize different sites. They categorize video sites if 50% or more of the pages have videos. They categorize it as small sites, blogging sites, etc. They also talks about keyword density. Like, a lot of people argue what the perfect keyword density is, but that's one of the spam ranking factors, or spam factors. How they categorize spam is if there's too much keyword density, if it's too keyword stuffed, if it looks like it's spun. A lot of the other parts hinted at how duplicatable the content is. They want one of the factors seems to be if the content is hard to write, then it will rank better. So like having more unique graphs, unique images, authority, having an author profile linked to it. It also talked about domain age, how old the domain is a factor. There's lots of other things. Let's look through my list. One of the other recommendations is to avoid indexing, like pushing through indexers. If you're using SynBite or Index Me Now, I would suggest not pushing all of the pages to be indexed at once. Use a drip feed indexer to make it look natural. It talked about embeds a lot. Definitely use iframes and embeds on other websites. Try to embed your entire website in other authoritative sites and in your link building efforts. Talked about link building quite a bit. One of the interesting things that Andrew pointed out was the suggestion that niche edits were not as valuable as guest posts. In my opinion, in the past, niche edits I thought would be just as valuable, if not more valuable, than guest posts, because they have the domain age. The article age, and an article that's already ranking and getting traffic, in my opinion, would be more beneficial than a brand new link. But according to this, guest posts that are new content is more relevant than an aged link that's from a niche edit. Another thing was about the link building velocity, how often you get links. You shouldn't just get a bunch of links at the beginning. A lot of white hat SEOs, they don't believe in link building, and so they'll only build out the original citations. And then if you get a bunch of links at the very beginning of your SEO campaign and then none after that, that is not the recommended way to do it, especially after this document. Keep continually building links. You should have a link strategy on how you get your backlinks, but doing continual guest post outreach, doing, press campaigns, doing press releases and other types of backlinks on a consistent basis is really what you want to be looking at. Some other things, let's see. They talked about topical authority a lot, how topical authority works. It really, in my opinion, I see some people make location and neighborhood pages where they'll talk about, they'll use plugins to pull in data from Wikipedia about the town, the weather, etc. I don't think that's recommended. I've never done that, because I've seen some of those websites ranking for weather or driving directions to bus stops and stuff like that. Super nonsensical stuff. In this document, when they talk about topical authority and how pages relate to each other, they say that Google will analyze a website and determine what its topic is. And then after they determine that, they weigh every other additional content piece against the initial topic, so if it's related or not. So you want to stay very, very clustered in your topical clusters. You don't want to be trying to rank one website for 100 different services. You want to really focus in on that specific niche and that topic and expand from there. I think along with that, because of how this talks about, didn't really go into it, but I think interlinking also goes right along with topical authority, making sure that each one is interlinked properly, the site structure is done properly as well. I have some articles and SOPs about that as well that you can visit our website, and I can send you those if you need help with interlinking. One other interesting thing was that Google stores, you know how what is that website called? There's the website database that you can see past versions of the website. Google has their own database of websites. So Google apparently stores every single version a website has. So every time you make a change to a website and the Google bot crawls it again, they will store that website that's crawled in their database. But they only use the last 20 versions of the website. So the last 20 versions of the website they use, and because they're storing it and they look at the last 20, that then implies that they will also because they're looking at that affects the rank. That's a little bit hypothetical. No one really knows for sure, but they talk about how they only look at the last 20. And so I think if you are rebuilding a website and you don't want Google to be analyzing and looking at the expired domain or the old website or whatever, like for example, you had an SEO that was talking about super random, unrelated topics on the website, you want to get that out, purged from the system, I would suggest you make a bunch of website edits, index them again, get it crawled at least 20 times, every day, just make another change, get those fresh 20 in there of what you actually want to be Google to be looking at. That's also a little bit hypothetical, but all of SEO is hypothetical until you test it and see what's working. Another thing, because they talk so much about topical authority, I'd also really, really recommend everyone look more at technical SEO and trying to see which pages on their website are relevant. If there are pages that, category pages or all those other pages that really shouldn't be indexed, double check your pages, what is indexed and what's not. Add all the pages to the sitemap and de-index all the other ones, block them from the search index, from the search engines. I can also do free technical audits for people to show you which pages need to be blocked and even fix those issues for you. That's one of our most popular services. It's a one-off service, but it's really, really helpful. You can see huge ranking improvements just from fixing a couple of technical issues on the website. The other thing I wanted to mention, let's see, site authority. Let me just look back at their document. I'm forgetting what I wanted to talk about next, but I know there's a lot that goes into topical authority. That's the main thing that I was really looking at, is just how important topical authority is, making sure that everything's on topic and clustered properly. And I'll link all of these other articles. The one from Andrew Ansley, especially, I'd recommend everyone reading, even if you're not an SEO, just a normal person who's trying to grow your business personally. I'd still recommend taking 10 minutes out of your day to read it, because it's just really, really interesting about all the different changes that Google's been making the last year, and this really outlines what you should be paying attention to and what's more important to work on in your business. But yeah, that's it for today, and hopefully everyone's doing a great job with your business. Thanks.